Is anyone surprised that this is coming from a place who their thing looks like this? I'm not. RPG.net exposed with rules banning support of President Trump, promoting Antifa-themed RPGs, and fully automated luxury gay space communism. Oh yeah, nothing sexier than deep gay space communism. And RPGs are supposed to be for everyone, okay? What do the people say on the other side about gatekeeping? Well, when you don't allow people to come into your little space because of who they vote for, you're gatekeeping. These people are more than happy to say all cops are bastards and support Kamala, but oh no, someone comes in supporting Donald Trump. Nope, can't have that. And the reasons, of course, are just fucking ridiculous. We'll get to those in a minute. The tabletop RPG industry has been a bastion of woke activism for years now, or in recent years. And it's not dying down anytime soon. RPG.net is a place where the woke activists gather and have a full ban of support of Donald Trump enacted on its forums since 2018. Because Orange Man bad hurt my vagina. A new discussion is also highlighting anti-fascist tabletop gaming as well as fully automated luxury gay space communism. Tabletop RPGs have been a hot topic of discussion over the last several months since Elon Musk brought to attention the mistreatment of Gary Gygax in the recent history of Dungeons and Dragons book, penned by Wizards of the Coast senior developer Jason Tondro. In the book, he libels Gygax a misogynist and accused the D&D original creator of colonialism and to try to tarnish his legacy because they're all miserable fucking people. If that dude didn't create Dungeons and Dragons, your stupid ass wouldn't be able to say anything about it. Going out and saying he's a fucking misogynist. This caused a flurry of social media noticing what's happening with Dungeons and Dragons, where it came out how the new edition is pushing woke activism through its new core book editions. It includes the over-representation of BIPOC and female characters in the player's handbook. That also bans half orcs and half elves from play. BDSM practices in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and a change of monsters, including the removal of orcs as a monster. Again, what do you expect from modern day? And for this place that we're talking about now, do you have any doubt who they support, what they stand for? As players have revolted against this destruction of tabletop games on behalf of DEI agenda, the gatekeepers inside tabletop gaming are striking back, trying to silence any dissent as if they can control the narrative rather than actually doing what gamers want. RPG.net is a website that is a long time discussion board for games like Dungeons and Dragons and others where others have posted for decades. It includes a wiki for tabletop games as well as news, but in recent years they've fallen into woke activism. I mean, you don't say. You don't say. The moderators have a standing rule in post. Do not post in support of Donald Trump or his administration. Oh, but if you wanted to say all cops are bastards or call to violence, again, have call of violence against these people, oh, that would be allowed. But oh no, how dare you support him? The following policy announcement is the result over a year of serious debate of a moderation team running this. Yeah, I think it was more just like 5 minutes. Year of debate. That would imply that there are other people who might oppose it. But they're not going to let anyone moderate for them or whatever when their fucking thing looks like this. There's no way in hell. It's not going to happen. They might have some secret closet fucking conservative or something, but that would be weeded out real fucking fast. The decision is as close as unanimous as we ever get. It will not be the subject of further debate. we have fully considered the downside and ultimately decided we will have to stay true to our values. We will not pretend that evil isn't evil, or that it becomes a legitimate difference of political opinion if you put a suit and tie on it. We are banning support of Donald Trump or his administration on the RPG.net forums. This is because his public comments, policies, and the makeup of his administration are so wholly incompatible with our values that formal political neutrality is non-tenable. We can be welcoming to, for example, persons of every ethnicity who want to talk about games, or we can allow support for those open white supremacy, not both. Below will be an outline of the policy and a very incomplete set of citations. All right, policy outline. We are banning support of the administration of Donald Trump. You can still post on RPGNet even if you do in fact support the administration. You just can't bring your evil here. We are absolutely not endorsing... Well, considering it's Democrats, liberal Democrat doing this, why the fuck are you lying? Why you always lying? Quit fucking lying. Where were we? Bring evil. We're also not endorsing the Democrats, nor are we banning all Republicans. We are certainly not banning conservative politics. No, you just don't want to hear any comments from them. As long as they agree with you or they don't bring up the fact that they're a Donald Trump supporter, you'll be fine with it. But if you start bringing up things like all cops are bastards and eat the rich and all that other bull crap, oh, that's perfectly fine. Or anything on the spectrum of reasonable political viewpoints, we assert that hate groups and intolerance. Who are you to consider what's a hate group? Someone who says that there's two genders is not part of a fucking hate group. That's stating basic biology. Biology that you people have been so insistent on rewriting. Intolerance are categorically different from the types of political positions, and that confusing the two legitimizes bigotry and hatred. God. We are not, okay, though if your profile has a picture of yourself in a MAGA hat, this might be a good time to change it. Saying that they won't permit witch hunts or baiting someone to say that they support them. It's not open season on conservatives. Revenge fantasies against Trump and Trump supporters are still against the rules. Racist policy citations. And then they bunch... Hostility towards transgender peoples. What hostility? The fact that they're telling people to say, hey, let your kids grow up before you decide to transition them and cause them serious harm mentally in the future. These are the same people. These are these college-educated individuals. So I'm going to bring you this, because even now, this past election, they were still bringing this up, even though it's been debunked for ages. They still push. This is how much the media has kind of manipulated them. They still believe this. So this is the fine people on both sides. This is it in full context.
Sides. You had people in there, very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
Meaning, the fine people were the ones who were there to exercise their First Amendment rights, the ones who weren't causing a problem. And then you see later on, he goes in and people say, oh, he's never condemned white supremacy.
Slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people.
That's the shit they didn't show you. He outright says, I'm not talking, and I don't mean the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. And yet they want to continue saying that he said, oh, find people on both sides. And yet there are so many people out there who hate this man so much, who have believed the bullcrap that the media has told them, that they will see this and they think that this is manipulated. No, this is full context. This is what the media didn't want to show you, because that would be showing him as a human being. They want you to see this man as a monster. The whole Mexicans, like, oh my God, he called Mexicans murderers and rapists. Go watch the clip. He is specifically talking about MS-13 gang members who are murderers and rapists. So where's the problem? He didn't say every person coming from Mexico is a murderer and rapist. No, he was talking about MS-13, they're a gang of murderers and rapists bringing drugs, firearms into our country. But no, they didn't show you that. They only showed you what they wanted you to see. So everyone's hatred of this man is completely irrational. It's irrational, completely irrational, because all you have to do is go watch clips like this in full context, not what Twitter posts, not what CNN posts or Washington, because they're going to manipulate it. So you have these people who are like living in fear of this guy because of how the media portrayed him. He mocked the disabled. Yeah, that's already been debunked as well. He does that with everyone. He does that. We did that as kids. We did that as kids when we were mocking people like, oh, dude, look at me. I can't do something simple. He is personally hostile to both individual reporters and the very idea of free press. Right. And who's the one trying to shut down free speech? Yeah, exactly. Fucking pricks. There are components of his immigration policy that cannot be supported by persons of good conscience. The site, with a pride flag as its main logo, encouraged extremism in its work, with a thread going since late 2024, encouraging fully automated luxury gay space communism. The ban was brought to attention on Twitter in a viral post made by Mad Scribe Games, who created a wonderful magazine in the vein of the classic D&D magazines from the 1980s and 1990s. Holy crap, is that a woman? It's been so long since we've seen a woman in fantasy. The original post getting a discussion says, given current circumstances, TM, I have a deep need for games that allow me to escape into the Star Trek type AFL. Never mind. I was going to say something because that's what I saw. I didn't see the L there at first. It's a good thing I didn't actually say it out instead of just spelling it. FALGCS future. So currently I am running and playing Lancer, which fully satisfies my criteria. By being optimistic, socialist, and diverse. I am running Flying Circus, which mechanically supports stories of coming out, finding identity, and dealing with dysphoria. What games would you like to tell stories of What games would you look to tell stories of diversity and optimism? But in a new thread, the mask comes off. Okay. Comes off that these people want to fantasize about violence against their political opponents. Imagine that. The thread is titled Anti-Fascist TTRPGs for Getting Through the Next Few Years. And it details how to LARP as Antifa. Eat the Reich, Moonpunk, Rebel Scum, Sigmata, Punk is Dead, Paranoia. Eat the Reich. You're vampires recruited by the Brits to parachute into occupy Paris, kill Nazis, and drink Hitler's blood. Sure. But this is... People want to say about, you know, oh, he's trying to gatekeep. They're gatekeeping. Their gate is like, oh, well, if you support this person, you can't openly support that person on our forum, but we can openly support the person that we want to support. You're gatekeeping. These people are the very same people they claim to fight against. They want to call everyone else a fascist. They are, in fact, the fascists. It's ridiculous how unaware these people are. And these are the ones who claim to be college educated and, oh, we're just so much smarter than the stupid, ignorant far right. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because clearly you don't see that you are the very people you claim to be against. You are the ones silencing political opposition. You are the ones promoting division and violence towards people who you don't agree with. You are the fascists here. So why don't you go LARP as some fucking normal people? But what do you expect from a forum that has this as a fucking logo? Donald Trump hurt my freaking vagina. Again, this man, all this hate for no reason, just because the media showed you what they wanted you to see. Again, that's just one clip. That's just one clip of him with the fine people on both sides. When you see it in full context, you clearly can tell that he's not saying, especially when he goes on and says, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists because they should be condemned totally. But yet they're like, oh, well, Charlottesville, he never condemned white supremacy. He endorsed it. And yet you just heard him say, condemn it totally. But yeah, sure, and you wonder why you people fucking lost. So keep being the people that you claim to be fighting against. See how far that fucking gets you. Fucking pricks. Anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.